Yeah, if you saw my other video, you know how I feel about these people of color that really had nothing to do with God, and couldn't be more antichrist, couldn't be more backwards. They're literally the enemies of God, the people who got them crucified. As it says in the Bible, when they were talking to Pilate, the ruler that Rome had set over them, he was saying that his own people were the ones who sold him out, like telling that ruler that, he was basically doing sedition, saying he was king, instead of Pilate being the king of the jurisdiction or whatever, or Caesar. And I explained how it's really not just these fake ass these fake ass Hebrews or whatever that are a problem. As you can look at the Hebrew movement today, it's nothing but anger and violence and completely backwards of what life and God is about. Anybody that's angry, anybody that's violent is a fucking joke. Like, look at this shit. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. Let's getting on these people again. I want to make a little bit of a joke at them right now, but also there's these other guys that are involved. There's the fake Jews that are basically, the monarch, which is really like the highest form of authority that they have in their governments. Like, for example, in Europe, in Britain or whatever, the Queen of England, she's she's the head of the church. She's the monarch. The head of the church is the fucking monarch. So basically, the church. So that's why all these Christian churches and all that stuff wasn't supposed to get connected with the state or connected with the state. And he says the problem why they won't tell you who the real Hebrews are, and they keep trying to push all this Hamitic bullshit and trying to push them over the people of color, the Hebrew people, kind of make it like these African Hamitic people are some kind of superior when all of our champions of color are pretty much people that are brown colored, Hebrew people. And they never even show you those people when they show you the slaves. Like, the reason most of the slaves look identical is because when they bring them, they bring certain families and groups of people. They don't never show you the groups of fucking houses. If you look hard enough, you'll find it. Of Indian-looking people, Ethiopian-looking people, As guys said, we're made as the Ethiopian. They brought a lot of Africans over too, but the main reason they did that was because when you mix them together, now the Hebrews are under the curse. Now they're going to have violence in them. They're going to have all this negative shit in them that you have in these people of color in this country that are just so self-destructive. And then basically you already know from the title of this, why are they compared to pit bulls? Why do people instinctually, when you hear about pit bulls, you start thinking of these type of people. It's not just that these people are always purchasing these type of animals. It's not just because the only time they ever fight is like hyenas in a big crowd. That's the only time they'll ever talking your shit. It's when there's big ass group where they got some friends around the corner and then they wait till their friend come back to make their move. Literally never fought these guys one-on-one except for maybe twice, and none of them was Hamitic ones. They were all Shemitic ones. They were the ones that actually fought me one-on-one. But it's mixed into them, so they're pretty much all down the drain. You can watch them just getting worse and worse acting as the generations go on. The more they get mixed in, and so on and so forth. It's just like with pit bulls. You mix a pit bull in any breed, it becomes like a problem. And then people, oh, you're talking like as if they're really similar. They're totally similar. I'm gonna explain that in a second. I'm gonna let you listen to this guy real quick for a second though. Just listen to him. Turn your volume up because I know the volumes are not gonna be on the same level more than likely.
Can you give me? I had a woman call in. I said earlier today, I said that you were going to come on the show.
Yeah.
And I said that, pit bulls make up the majority of deaths by dog. And this woman said, well, that's because there are more pit bulls than any other kind of dog. And she says it's the most populous breed of dog in the United States. I said, I don't think so.
Okay. Look, they make up maybe 5% of dogs. Okay, so you figure that they would be responsible for 5% of the killings, right?
Yes.
However, they're responsible for 75% of the killings.
Now, so they are not. So they don't make up. They're not the most populous or most popular dog breed. This woman was completely wrong. You're telling me only 5% of dogs are pit bulls.
Of course, and in fact, they're probably the most unpopular
Just like, guess who else feels, guess what? The jails, the mental institutions, so on and so forth. Places where nobody value ends up at. Least of them at schools, least of them doing anything. Most of them on the corner, selling drugs. Most of them doing everything they shouldn't be doing. And I'm not covering up for it, bro. Just like this guy, I spent so many years trying to cover up this shit. Trying to work with you motherfuckers, man. I'm done with y'all, bro. I'm only working with the elect. Most of y'all, you're fucked. Tired of y'all, man.
Shelters are overflowing with pit bulls. Every year in the United States, 1/3 of the entire pit bull population is euthanized. Every single year.
1/3. Just like the 1/3 getting cut off in the Bible. Sound familiar? God talking to you, fool ass motherfuckers.
The dog is
And it was literally at 3 minutes when he said that shit.
being overproduced. That's why so many people say that there need to be restrictions.
You know what's being overproduced in our society? Ghetto-ness. Wannabe gangsters. Low-lifes. Nobodies. That's the problem.
On pit bulls. I feel pit bulls should be banned because if you ban them, you will end a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of human suffering. It's not only human. It's not only human. In addition to killing those 29 out of the 39 people who were killed last year, pit bulls are the #1 killers of other people's pets. They kill over 90% of all the dogs, cats, horses, and farm animals that are killed by dogs every year. There's so much damage from these dogs, it's unbelievable.
So,
They're responsible. Yeah.
in your practice, how many of the cases are pit bull cases as opposed to poodles or something? Because every dog will bite. People, they always say, "Well, I was attacked by a poodle when I was a kid." I go, "Yeah, you're still alive. If you were attacked by a pit bull, you might not be."
Yeah, exactly.
How many of the cases in your law practice are pit bulls, and how many are other breeds?
Well, the serious cases tend to be pit bulls, because I have so many cases. I mean, I have so many cases. So it's not a question of did you get bit by a dog. I mean, that's one thing. But the question is, what dog is going to kill? What dog is going to disfigure or disable? And the cases that I've had, like for example, all my death cases have been pit bulls, all of them. Cases where someone's face is ripped off, usually pit bull. It could be another.
Just think about all the people disfigured from those fucking gang members. Like, I can look it up right now and show you all these people with their face blown off, holes in them, arms missing like they've been in war, disfigured, disabled, made a fucking vegetable, whole future stolen from because of these fucking wannabe gangsta ass motherfucking pieces of shit that define the N-word in every fucking level of the fucking N-word that has nothing to do with fucking color. Just so happens a lot of you fucking fools of that color act that goddamn way, and you perfectly are described by that goddamn word, which means an ignorant fucking person. Y'all are worse than goddamn ignorant.
I'm not saying no other dog bites. What I'm saying is what it is that the doctors say, what it is that all studies by the cities, by the states have come out with, which is that this breed is responsible for the worst damage.
Now, another argument that I hear, Kenneth, is that
The worst damage. They're the ones who hung Jesus. I mean, not hung, but killed Jesus Christ. Like, these are little motherfuckers who killed fucking Jesus Christ. Still working with the goddamn fake ass Jews to this day. Coon ass motherfuckers. Don't even care if the Republicans set them free. Working with the goddamn Democrats, man. It's fucking ridiculous.
a lot of dogs and these dog bites that you're citing are not really pit bulls. They're other kinds of dogs or mixes of dogs, and people just think they're pit bulls.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. You see, this is one of the reasons why I changed my mind about what has to be done about pit bulls. For 20 years, I was against breed-specific laws. Pit bulls. For 20 years, I was against breed-specific laws.
For my whole fucking life, I fought for these goddamn people. Nobody else ever fucking did really anything to me personally. You already know how this is fucking racial agenda and shit. We all know this. But personally, that caused me problems, besides these problems I'm already having to deal with as a man of color, it's been only my own fucking so-called people and these goddamn Hamites. I'm trying to tell you, the people are going to be your biggest problems, just like Jesus said, these so-called fucking Jews, these Hamites, all these motherfuckers. Because they're the closest thing, they're kind of close to you so they can understand you. Just like the Bible says, your enemies will be your household. Those are your fucking family. Those are the people of your race. I'm trying to tell you, those are the biggest enemy we have, bro. Like they don't even care that Trump bombed a fucking CIA drug lab instead of bombing their neighborhood, which the real drug war was based around getting black people locked up and shit. And nowadays, I ain't even feel sorry no more, like for real. Like I don't even feel sorry for real. When I was locked up, niggas stupid as fuck, wasn't hearing the truth. Only motherfucking one person heard the truth there. Guess what? White boy. Only motherfucker heard the truth. Niggas didn't even know the fucking sun rotated around the god. Not the sun, but I'm used to the truth. That the earth rotates around the sun. They didn't even know that. I tried to tell them about the, like the flat earth and all that kind of stuff, which is a little more complicated than flat earth, but it's more like, like Operation Fishbowl is kind of describing or whatever, but there's also stuff above it and all that. But they didn't even understand that. They didn't understand nothing, bro. I'll tell you, white kid's the only one who heard me, bro. And I swear, even after a whole jail full of these motherfuckers not hearing me, but him, only one, like minority that heard me, but all of them, the majority didn't hear me. Even after that, I was just like, I saw the demons that they were holding in the jail, like these they're working with these pitch black darkness spirits. Darker they were, the worse they were, basically, like literally. Like I was like fighting all this goddamn, the evidence in front of me, the way they look describes what's inside of them. Like your biology tells you all about you. You got fucked up genetics, you're gonna look ugly on the outside. Your parents and your forefathers been doing stupid shit like incest, which causes these ugly ass malformations where you look overly masculine or feminine or hermaphrodite, like a lot of them do. Like, man, I'm not even gonna get into it. But yeah, I tried for so long, bro. I'm done though, bro. I'm just gonna put y'all shit out there, bro. Fuck that.
For 20 years, I was against breed-specific laws. In other words, laws against pit bulls or other high-risk dogs. 20 years I advocated against it. I gave them 20 years to do something about the dog or do something to educate people about the dangers of the dog, as pit bull organizations around the world have done in other countries. But what they do, instead of making changes in the dog or instead of educating people properly, the pit bull lovers came out with a whole lot of sheer bull.
Yep, just like the Hebrews, huh? Coming out, oh yeah, man, blah blah blah. Jesus is pitch black. Really, dude? Anybody in Ethiopia pitch black? Really? Like, nah, the main is the Ethiopians, the brown, like everybody in that country, that area is. You have your cake and eat it. It's so frustrating. Like, they're fucking crazy, bro. There's so much shit that they did. All they did was jump from one fucking bandwagon to another. They jumped from the fake Christianity, into a fake Israelite movement. That's literally what they did. Now they're sitting out there yelling at people, making people hate us even fucking more. Yelling at people. Why not just say it in a peaceful goddamn manner? A lot of these Christian preachers do the same thing. They get on the goddamn loudspeaker and just yelling at people. And then literally the main thing people hate them for is, besides the truth and being told they're going to hell in a very mean way instead of a nice way, is this is goddamn loudspeaker. They're in their fucking ears. Sometimes they'll be doing it in the middle of the night. Like, it's stupid, man. It's just so stupid. But these Hebrews are the worst, bro. I'm trying to tell you. And then you try to tell them some truth, like, the Bible clearly says that all nations and peoples will be there, but you guys want us to somehow fight off the whole rest of the world for this little fucking lie you want to promote, that you're somehow above everybody else because God decided to tell you fucking idiots, like, these aren't my people. This isn't my kingdom. My kingdom isn't from here. If they were, they would have fought for me. Y'all are cowards, and you're cowards fucking now. And that's why George Soros said this. George Soros said that he funded Black Lives Matter movement. Well, he's actually, the original quote was radical movements. They clearly misquoted this because they're trying to act like this didn't happen, but I'm about to show you it did. Black Lives Movement because he wanted to bring down the United States. And the black community is the easiest to manipulate. Anybody that lives in this community knows this is so fucking true. Like they'll kill themselves before they touch anybody else, before they even think about doing anything to anybody else. Like, so these BLM guys who are funded by him, just to prove it, like, I mean, they're gonna act like he didn't do it, but what did he actually do? New York Times. That's good enough, right? Soros Foundation pours 220 fucking million into these radicals. You already know BLM is one of them. So how the fuck is that not true then? Oh, okay, so you want to act like his motivation isn't obviously what it is? Look what fucking BLM's doing. They're not blowing up white businesses. They're not burning down white businesses. They're going to black businesses every fucking time. And they're busted in. They're paid by him to fucking destroy black people. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, your own worst enemy is these fucking sellout, coon-ass motherfuckers. Used to be called Ford because it was owned by a black person, a person of color. And then, what's it called now? Coons Ford. Coons Ford. Not owned by a person of color anymore. It's Coons Ford. Think about that.
We call it the distinction between pit bull and pit truth. The truth of the matter is, if you mix another dog with a pit bull, you get a dangerous dog.
Thank you. That's exactly why when they brought us here, they mixed us Hebrews with these daggone Hamite people that are violent as all hell. They was violent before they even came here. All they do is fight each other. All they fucking do is fight each other. Endlessly. So you know how easy it was for them to get what they call radicals into Africa? I mean, you can't even walk down the goddamn street without these motherfuckers trying to hold you up like some gangster that's like at the basketball court. You can't even go to the basketball court without having to beat their ass or waste your life in some fucking meaningless way because they have no fucking worth to them. And they're just like these worthless motherfuckers going around just wasting. They see someone with an actual life, a person with a light to them, and they try to ruin it, bro. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger went to Africa, and what a surprise! Out of all the countries he goes to, some fucking low-lifer who's jealous of him, who is envious. He was the most envious people I've ever seen. Maybe because he's just ugly or whatever. But like, came and kicked the motherfucker in his back, bro. And Arnold, a German, and y'all don't know shit about Germany and the Nazis. Y'all don't know shit about them. The fake Jews were the real enemy. Like, y'all don't even know it though. Like, but basically, he didn't even give a fuck. He just like, nah, man, don't do nothing to him. Just let it go, man. Like, it's stupid, man. So, anyways, these people are fucked up. You mixing that together, the Hebrews, these people. Look at the Indian people of the Middle East. They look dangerous? No. They'll come up with some schemes and scams like anybody else on the fucking planet. And, but they're not exactly dangerous. They're not exactly like, you go to Africa, you can get 8. You go to Africa, you're gonna leave with half of your body. If you even leave, they're gonna they'll run your business in the ground. Like they'll extort you. It's like being in China. You know why? Because China used to be African. They used to be Africans. Look at their hair, it's pitch black. And look at the Latins, pitch black. They were run by Africans as well. That's why you see these people, they're the most corrupt countries on the goddamn planet. Because what happens when you mix with African, with Hamite? You get violence. You get that drug addict attitude. Like you look at all these countries where these mixed people are, part African or part Hamite or whatever, all the Spanish countries, all the Hamite countries, all drug addicts. Nothing but drug addicts. I swear, the only place you're going to get away with that, you go to Switzerland, or Sweden, or some shit like that. So you see why they demonize these people now, right? And you think they're the bad guys. They only have 5% of the slaves. They're the first ones to let y'all free, too. And they fought a war with you to free your sorry ass. But south of here, these people that you're embracing as Hebrews, who are not Hebrews, maybe partly, in a very small percentage, they're the ones who had 50% of y'all in Brazil, for example, and a whole bunch of y'all in the central part, and you'll never hear about them. You're never going to hear about their celebrities because they never got a fair shot. They live in the ghettos. They're like put through the highest fucking racism. You think you're going through racist shit. Okay. Anyways, don't mix with this shit, bro. And now they're spreading this fucking ghetto-ass mentality called rap and all this ghetto bullshit all over the fucking country. Even the white people and shit getting into it and they're becoming drug addicts and all this dumb shit. And it's stupid, man. Don't mix with that stupid shit, dog. Don't take on the ways of Ham, bro. He's a loser-ass murderer, bro.
it's like if you have a glass of water and you put some salt in it. Can you taste the salt? Yeah.
Of course.
Taste the salt.
Let me
It's like a pile of fruit punch, and then they come and take a doo-doo with it. Yeah, doo-doo. Yeah, you're gonna taste it, yeah.
let me go. Attorney Kenneth Phillips is on with us. He's under fire from pit bull lovers and pit bull organizations and whatever. They say that this guy spreads false information and that pit bulls are loving animals that wouldn't harm a hair on someone's head. Let's go to Nick. You're on with Ken Phillips. Good morning, Nick.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, so I just wanted to comment. Pit bulls are only fierce if trained that way. They don't just, they don't just get born and all of a sudden they're just this fierce, ferocious dog that's willing to attack anything.
No, wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Because listen to this. Most of the time, when pit bulls kill somebody, they kill their owner's children, or their owner's parents. Most of the time when they kill something. And that's also most of the time when they do something less than killing.
Oh, so they like to kill those or their household, those who they really should be loving. Sounds like familiar. There's something in the Bible about those who be your enemies would be those of your household. And that explains why these people of color have no problem killing themselves, killing their own people, and all that kind of shit. Just like these dogs are trained to kill other dogs, but they're not trained to kill people. Why the fuck are they doing that? It's just something demonic. Violence and this kind of shit is demonic. The Bible said that the animals were made to eat herbs at the beginning. But what happened around Noah's day? They were doing genetic manipulation, just like they're doing with these dogs, making all these breeds. That's why they worship the dog, because probably this weird creature that they were working with or whatever, and it's related to them in some way. But what was I gonna say? Well, oh yeah, basically that probably made them violent, and made them have sharp teeth. It was the genetic manipulations and made them into carnivores and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty confident, but maybe it's somewhere in there I didn't see that he decided to make animals into killers. And it has nothing to do with that obvious part where it says that the animals and the people were in violence against each other. Probably because somebody out of the humans wants to eat the other human. And so they have violence to them.
Fighting, mauling, disfiguring. Most of the time.
But he says that this guy's trying to say they're training them to be vicious. Is that?
Yeah, I trained my dog to kill my son. Yeah, right. Does it sound right to you?
But all right, other people will say, well, these are animals that were.
Did you catch what he said though? He said that, did he train the dog to kill his brother, mother, family, and all that shit? What does it say here? Because he was born of God, and the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whoever doeth righteousness doeth not righteousness, doeth unrighteousness is not of God, and neither he that loveth not his brother. So you see, this is a spirit that's not of God. It's a spirit of murdering that's just in them. And he even talks about, marvel not my brother, that they hate you. He who had passed on death life, because we love the brother. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And that's what they do. They hate their brothers, man. Jealous especially. And you want to know how I know it's jealous? For this is the message ye heard from the beginning. From the beginning. You see? This is how powerful this goddamn message is. It's like the fundamental of the damn whole book. This is the main sin people have, is jealousy. And want to fucking hate on other people that have stuff they don't. That we should love one another. Not as Cain, you see, who was of that wicked one. The snake, like I said. She got beguiled by the snake, so he's a snake. And that's Cain, these Hamite motherfuckers. That's why they're violent. That's why they act like that. That's why they go around naked. That's why shake their ass, all this stupid shit, act like animals, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his works were evil, and his brothers were righteous, you see? He knew his brother was going to heaven. He knew his brother was on the right path. He knew his brother was doing a good thing. Just like they see us Hebrews doing good, or anybody doing good, and they get jealous of him. They got jealous of Arnold because he's healthy, getting some attention. While the dude that did it was some skinny, no life ass nigga that kicked Arnold in the back. So he's obviously jealous. I mean, I would be a little bit different if he was some big, muscular, healthy millionaire. You know, maybe I'd be like, he's not jealous, but he's some skinny, nobody ass, ugly dude. Come on, bro. Obvious. Jealousy. One's healthy, one's righteous because of that. The other one's piece of shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me see. Go on.
Used, the ones that are attacking must have been abused or used in dog fighting. My pit bull pet would never turn on me or my family. I hear that argument all the time.
You know, see, this is the difference between anecdotal evidence and statistical evidence. People will say, my dog is a good dog, but then to conclude that all of them are good dogs is literally ridiculous. That's like saying, I voted for Hillary, therefore she must be president.
Hear it again.
Literally ridiculous. That's like saying, I voted for Hillary, therefore she must be president.
Y'all need to learn about these kind of people. All these goddamn people are addicts, bro. They're comfortable with certain way things are, even if it's hell. They get really comfortable with it. Like, if you watch these little fucking food addict things, they're mostly women, almost like 80% women. And that's why we have so many problems with our women, because they get addicted to this fast lifestyle that they obviously can't sustain, and everything's telling them they can't sustain it because they're 5 trying to date a 10, that they got lucky and one fucked them one time, and now they think they're always gonna get a goddamn 10. That's not happening, bitch. Wake up. They just don't give a fuck, though. They're just like animalistic. Like, I've been told you about how women, that's why the guys said none of them are righteous. Like, they're just, it's a whole nother story I don't even want to get into, but these people have this addicted mentality and they'll do anything. I'm telling you, you gotta watch these videos and you'll see how addicted people always do the same shit. Like, they always make up lies, make up any excuse to continue on the way things are. These people are comfortable in as hell. Their own misery has become their own fucking best friend, and they're addicted to it. They can get addicted to anything. I'm trying anything. As long as the habit starts when they're young, and it's crazy, bro. So.
Well, no, it's not just your vote. It's not just what you think about your dog. It's what the numbers today.
Let's do this again. I gotta hear it again.
Conclude that all of them are good dogs is literally ridiculous. That's like saying, I voted for Hillary, therefore she must be president. Well, no, it's not just your vote. It's not just what you think about your dog. It's what the numbers today.
Candace, you're on with attorney Kenneth Phillips. Good morning.
I can't do these fucking interviews, people. Like, I just can't do it. There's something else he was gonna talk about that I wanted to bring up, but fuck it. I can't. You know what? Oh, I remember. It's the breeding thing. They're basically bred to be like this, you know. Like, let me just go on. I want to dispel a couple of things about pit bulls also.
Hello. First time caller, long time listener. I was calling almost the same that you had.
I want you to hear how in denial these people are. So that'll help too.
Just said about there are many dogs who are very abused, and if there are more dogs that are being abused, obviously those are going to turn on you. And if you're accounting for all the dogs in the United States, you're also including all the dogs that are dog show dogs, you know.
Oh my God, I can't even get started with this. She didn't pay attention to anything he said already. He already addressed what she said about the abused dogs and the trained dogs that are basically training to abuse, you know. Like he said, did they train the dog to fucking bite their face off? Like when you abuse a dog, it becomes afraid of you. Because it's trained to be afraid of you. It's trained to be afraid. That's what they, you know. I've seen a lot of these abused dogs. They don't be all aggressive. They're aggressive, but they're afraid at the same time. It just wouldn't work out. Like, the family would have been caught on to the dog. Like, it's just too fucking ridiculous to even respond to. This woman is so fucking dumb. She just completely did not understand what he said. I don't need to say anything else besides that. And then she brings up goddamn dog show dogs, which are like 0.00001%. Oh my God.
All these other dogs, of course those dogs aren't attacking anybody. They're sitting on $500 chairs with $500 collars.
You see what she's doing though? once again, she's connecting black people with pit bulls compared to, and then putting white people, which not all white people are well off, as, what is it? It's the fancy show dogs. The fancy show dogs are actually usually black people in real life. You know that, right? Because NBA players, football players, models, porn stars, so on and so forth. The people that are exalted, you know, once again, are the pit bulls. You know, just like in dog culture, the pit bulls are so popular amongst the edgy leftists, the guys that like to be scary because they're afraid of every fucking thing, and that's how the devil controls them. And those people that try to scare people, use fear tactics, only do that because they're afraid, and they know how powerful it is to them. So they try and use it against others. You see, this woman's a fucking idiot. You get caught under a race, right? You see, in reality, white people have nothing to do with those elite dogs. Like, they're just fucking not as aggressive and fucking stupid as other fucking people, like, who have really been bred to do it, and it's in their genes because they've been mixed with violent people. I mean, literally the most violent person that Genesis itself was trying to teach you not to be like.
They're not attacking anybody. These aren't the kind of dogs that we're talking about here. If you get down to
So why are we talking about?
let's talk about the actual dogs that are killing people and what their lifestyle
Yeah,
is.
pit bulls, people
Well, I
like
think
you.
I mean, dog show dogs probably make up 1/100th of 1% of the population of dogs in the United States.
Thank
I
you.
don't think there are a lot of dog show dogs running around. Kenneth, what do you say to that? She says, well, they're more likely to be abused.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
That's why they.
Oh.
There's no doubt that the pit bull is the most abused dog on the planet. It is the dog that is used in dog fights. A lot of these dogs are.
Notice how he sees both sides of the fucking picture. The woman don't see both sides of the picture. People that are on the left will never see both sides of the picture because they're just like these motherfuckers. Check out all those food addict people. Check them all out. It might even take the whole series down just because I'm pointing this out. That's how far they are. Because everything's about diet. Everything's about diet and mentality. That's why they're targeting both of those. Everything. You literally have a country full of fucking drugged out, loser ass, fucking feminine, like, retards, man, that believe everything that's a lie and hate everything that's the truth. It's ridiculous. And one of the main things with these guys you would get is they would, what was it? Let me go back for a second. They never see the other side of the story. Like, they literally just never fucking see it. Like, they just can't get it on the slightest fucking level. Like, you come at them a million different ways, they're just never gonna get it. They always justify their bullshit or whatever, man. Meanwhile, this guy, he's able to see both sides of the story. That's the main thing you're gonna notice with these people. And when they actually try and get them to eat, like something they haven't ate before, even if it's like, this bitch is literally like addicted to French fries. So what they did was just to fuck with her, just to get her out of her comfort zone. This is what's wrong with these people. It's usually women, because just like they're spoiled, man. They just get caught up in their own fucking pseudoscience, and then just goes further and further and further and reinforces, and then after decades, it's just really cemented. And when you run into people like that, they're a lost cause. They really are. But basically, they would literally cry and have like real hard emotions when any of them, like this, all of them basically, that's always their problem. They just can't try new things. They're addicts. That's what an addict is. They're hooked on doing the same shit over and over again for no fucking reason. The person will just drink soda pop all fucking day. It's doing nothing for them, rotting their teeth. Motherfucker eats bleach, just hooked on the chemicals. Fucking burning ripping their teeth are fucking rotted out. Gotta lose all their teeth except for one. Like, stupid ass motherfuckers just hooked on eating anything because of the chemicals in it. And then they're hooked on potatoes and shit like that because of the mold in it. The other things have opium in it, the opiates. But they always are the same. They never can't, they're so hooked into it. You try and show them anything else, even if it's just a fry of a different color. She couldn't eat it. She was sitting there crying like a little bitch. The psychologists in them were just like so tilted by this shit. I could tell. Just like this man, he's tilted. Like, I'm tilted. We can't stand this shit. Like the Bible says, a wise man or intelligent man is kind of driven crazy by this stupidity, this oppression. The greatest oppression I feel like we're dealing with is just having all these fucking retards that telling us lies all goddamn day and promoting these fucking lies and pushing on us through laws and shit. I think that's the greatest one. But these people are jokes, man.
When you see them in the shelter, they're scarred. They from battle scars, from being used in that manner. They are the dog that set on fire the most. They are the dog that is used in bestiality the most. They are the dog that is tortured most. There's no doubt about it. Pit bulls attract the wrong kind of people. They attract.
Did you hear that? Pit bulls attract the wrong kind of people. Think about that. Who's the biggest owner of pit bulls? How many of these were done by pit bulls? Probably about maybe 1% or something. I don't know. You see? Owned by who? Yeah.
Criminal element. So I
Criminal element.
no
They attract who? Who wants to be gangster?
doubt about it. Pit bulls attract the wrong kind of people. They attract a criminal element.
Hello, Mike Vick. Hello, Mikey Vicky. You ain't nothing like God, you piece of shit motherfucker. Scumbag ass piece of shit. Making them dogs fight. Pray you get what you fucking deserve in hell. You have to fight fucking other people or dogs forever, you fucking scumbag. No history, no idea of your fucking history. Putting dogs through what your fucking ancestors went through, you scumbag ass motherfucker. How do you think they feel about that?
So I have absolutely no quarrel with somebody saying that they are the most abused type of dog. I have no quarrel with somebody saying that when a dog attacks somebody, it's the owner's fault. I have no quarrel with that. But the problem is that there are so many of these dogs. They are in the wrong hands. The wrong people have them. They are causing so much damage. And there's no reason for them.
Have you had cases in your practice, Ken, that someone had a pit bull and they didn't fight these dogs? They got this dog when it was a puppy. They weren't, putting it into dog fights or whatever. The dog was a loving family dog for a while, and then there was a vicious attack.
All the time. All the time. All the time.
People never believe it when I will these stories will come up and people will call and they go, no, Rover, that doesn't happen. It's the way you raise the dog, and if you raise it well, like I've raised my dog, that won't happen.
Bullshit.
You got to realize something, and that is that there are about somewhere between 4 and 5 million pit bulls in the USA. 4 and 5 million, all right? So there's probably about how many million owners? 2 million, 3 million owners. All right, so what happens is we don't hear from the millions. We don't hear from them. We hear from a small group of, what you have to call them the lunatic fringe. that don't
Sound like a leftist.
what they see in the news. They don't believe what the experts say. When the hospitals and the doctors come out with the studies, they don't believe those. When the cities do the breed ban, because the cities have studied what kind of dogs are causing the problem in the city, they're against the breed ban. They just won't be convinced by anything. You can't listen to them. You just can't.
Let me go to Kelly. You're on with attorney Kenneth Phillips.
I don't want to hear the rest of these people. I was just hoping he would talk about the breeding. This is basically a counter to one of these questions they're going to say. It's somewhere in here. And basically, also there's people talking about the nanny, the terriers being a nanny. I mean, not the terriers, but the pit bulls being a nanny. That was some bullshit. He talks about that later where he says that, literally, the dude that came up with the propaganda of them being pit bulls because they couldn't, people were trying to get rid of them or whatever, so he had to come up with another way of utilizing them. So he came up with calling them, nanny dogs. When these things had been bred, like first terriers just took the most aggressive little small man complex dog and put it with a dangerous dog. And like they were used to grab bulls' faces and lure them into their fucking slaughter. So these things have been around death their whole fucking manufacturing process. It's like instilled to them to love death. Like it's like, how I told you everything's about habits, what you do every day. These pit bulls are programmed. It's like you guys are programmed to eat these things, be whatever the fuck you do on a daily basis. Whatever that strong instinctual thing is to you, that's how strong it feels dogs to kill something. Just like, or bite its face. I've never been bit by a pit bull on the face. Like no warning, no nothing, never showed aggression, out of nowhere, just bit on the face. A whole chunk, ripped it out. Luckily, I didn't, it was just, I just closed it right back up and it was fine. But I have a little line now. But if he had got me somewhere vital, I would have been done out of nowhere for no fucking reason. That's how it always is with these goddamn dogs. I've been bit by 2 other dogs. They didn't do nothing like that, bro. Like, I've been bit, like, it was like there was warning ahead of time, like growling or something. Like something. That dog was sitting there next to me. We was cool. Like, I had pet that dog, like, for over years. Like years. Like, I come there and see that dog all the time. And then out of nowhere, just boom. It didn't even keep attacking me. It was just boop. Chunk out your face. Like, out of nowhere. I'm trying to tell you, you wake up, your face gone. Because once it takes that blood, it gets going and going, and man, people are so stupid. Got this love of having something super fucking dangerous around you. Stupidest fucking people on the planet. Fucking mostly women hitting them up too. Just like most women are addicted to this shit. They're addicted to having fucking dog licking their goddamn pussy. Pathetic, man. But anyway, so the breeding, they try to act like it's it's totally in them. Like they did that, and then they used it for dog fighting. So when they see other dogs, even if they're friendly to people, they'll go attack other dogs. It's ridiculous. So then they're like, oh man, they're only like that because of breeding. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. And even that nanny dog the nanny dogs they used killed the dude's fucking nephew. They were babysitting. The damn thing killed his goddamn nephew. It didn't maul him, it killed the fuck out of him. So those are pretty bad percentages right there. That the guy that probably training these dogs from birth and all that shit got his nephew killed by one of them. Yeah, real fucking safe. And that dog is what a surprise that bit me. Some fucking N-word motherfuckers owned it. Gangster wannabe niggas, bad owner of course. Like he said, it attracts the wrong motherfucking people. And it walks the whole goddamn neighborhood. This is an apartment area I used to go over to get some weed. I don't smoke anymore. Maybe once a year, once a month or some shit, or maybe every once in a blue moon. But I haven't done it for a while. Right now I'm set to just fuck that shit. But the dog bit me out like 4 months ago or something, like a few months ago or something like that. So that has nothing to do with it. I had already started going back there for a while, got over that or whatever. But I wasn't going around the dog, obviously. But what was it? Like, so these are just loser ass motherfuckers. They got the dog walking the damn streets with little kids all over the place, bro. All over and nobody does anything about it. Literally nothing, because they're afraid these motherfuckers are pussies, bro. I reported the dog, but not like I wanted to get killed. I wanted them to try and get to the owner to keep it in the house. Because it's literally just walking the street, and he sharpens the teeth of the dog with bones. Feeds it fucking bones. That's the only reason I was able to cut my face so easily. And it's just ridiculous. It's just the worst of the worst dog. And this breeding, they try, that's the excuse for the dogs. And they're like, someone even brought it up. They was like, oh, it's like you're comparing it to people of color. And then, the researcher doesn't know about people of color and their history, that they actually were bred to be just like pit bulls. Literally. Like, no bullshit. I'll get to that in a second. But he says, basically, oh, that's different. That's race. Race is different. These things are genetically bred and combined and trained over time to be like this, But, he doesn't realize in Africa to begin with, these guys they mixed us with, they were always fighting each other, always hating each other, always doing this. So, when you gather all these different tribes down in a one little fucking area, what do you think's gonna happen when you put them in a ghetto? What the fuck do you think's gonna happen, dog? Like, really? So, they would always fight each other, so they were naturally just divided to begin with. It wasn't hard to get the rebels set up there. Just like in the Middle East, same thing. Once they gave me Islam, it was easy to divide them. Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church created Islam because they needed to make them start doing incest and having sexual immorality so they could blend in with them and dehumanize them so they could later do what they're doing to them, bomb them day and night. So, so the slave fighting contest on masculinity. They even had a movie about this shit where they had the slaves fighting each other. They would literally breed them. They would fucking breed. Bred solitary, insert, reified identities. Where is it? Breed slave, do forced pairings. They would look for the strongest ones, and also they got the fighter ones, the aggressive ones. Yeah. So they're trained. They're literally training them to fight each other and nobody else. They hate each other and nobody else. So you see, that's why so many of them get in the boxing room with each other, you see? And that's why boxing was dominated by them at the beginning. It still is, really. That's just a natural advantage Hebrew people have. And Africans are kind of good at it, too. Not as good as we are. Just as Mike Tyson, just as Roy Jones Jr., blah, 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 blah. I mean, all the fucking old heavyweights, like all George Foreman, I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, Zab Judah. Did I need to go on Brown, and Brown. Now we got people like, what is this Hamite, what's his name? Wilder, who can't even fucking beat a bum like Gypsy King, man. Who's afraid to fight Mike Tyson because he don't want to fight a real man. He want to fight that big motherfucking brute motherfucker that ain't got no real fucking technique. No real fucking connection with God that gives him that technique and that ability to see through the opponent like Mike Tyson and these other guys do. But yeah, so let me see. So they're basically bred to fucking hate each other. Like literally. So that's why, and then they gave them rap music, that wasn't good enough. They kept destroying their culture too and resetting it and trying to shape it. This is also a debate about conversation gangster rap. Institute evaluation finds that young people who listen to rap and hip hop are more likely to use alcohol, basically ruining their lives, and drugs in general, and commit violent acts. Why would they want them to act violent? Because that's everything that destroys a society. Everything. It leads to this. Instead of such a fucking ridiculously low number. Oh, what's this? See, so you could combine all three of these, and you ain't even touching what these fuckers do to either one. Yeah. Does this look familiar? Look like Middle East, don't it? Because guess what? Same fucking stupid mentality and easy to control ass people, man. Easy to fucking control ass people. I already showed you this shit, man. What else I gotta say? Angry ass people, don't go around them. They're murderers. They're fucking murderers. Okay? You can look at several scriptures about people that are angry or fucking murderers. It's like the whole fucking point of the story, like, damn near, except for the liars are another sign. You know, it's basically trying to show you who the fuck to avoid and who's worth a damn, basically. So yeah, this basically answers the question why people compare black people to pit bulls. I mean, really? Anybody else do this kind of shit? Like, really? Gonna hit a woman? You'll hardly ever see them actually do this to a person that's actually strong looking. Like a man that could actually fight back. You'll notice they do it to old people, their own people as well, women, pussy ass niggas, bro. And this is still fucking happening, dog. Still fucking happening. Because they have no life. So once you give them when you have people that have no life, just like women usually don't have much going on in their lives, you know, let's be honest. Nothing of value. So all you have to do is introduce something where they got people around, obviously they're in a group doing it, that'll motivate them to do it. That's really all you need. The monkey see, monkey do, you know, like the hyena pack mentality thing. All they have to do is get a few of the leaders, and like he said, the easiest to control after that. And that's why the Jews love these motherfuckers, which he is one, because they're easy to control, they're easy to manipulate. They've got so much done because these motherfuckers, bro. And especially against the people of color, man. Like, you go around, you ain't gonna see many people of color, bro. You're gonna see all these pitch black, pitch white people, bro. Like, it's not even, there's a lot of brown people, but you can see they're being blackwashed or whitewashed. Either they're getting more light skinned or they're getting more Hamitic looking. Like, they're hardly ever matching with each other. And by them brainwashing the Hebrews and they're thinking they're African, now their women are always going after African men. Because they think, like, all greatness from these people that are great, obviously. Anybody that looks at the people of color know they're greater than everybody else. Except for the violent aspect of them. Like the ones that are awesome, they're like the greatest people on the planet. Like they're like the total opposite of these other fucking people. And that's the way things work. It's like, your family is going to be total opposites. Like Abel is godly, and then Cain was of the devil. It's always like that, bro. You're going to have that, and like it's always like that. And so they divide them up, whitewash them, blackwash them, and it's really fucked up because they've actually gotten them into the breeding habit of also mixing with other races and stuff like that instead of their own people. I'm pretty sure they were doing that as well. But anyways, now you see the connection between pit bulls and so-called black people and brown people, both of them, because they're both mixed in with that bullshit, and anybody mixed with that kind of Spanish people. So you just look at it. Any of these countries where these Hamites have been mixed into, this pit bull mentality been mixed into, they're all into drugs, they're all in the gangs. Look at MS-13, look at like any of these kind of places got that shit mixed into them. Look in the Middle East, they're gangs, the Taliban, all that shit. And what a surprise, all these gangs were basically funded by the government and created to divide the goddamn people. That's why they call them gang stalkers. If you don't know what gang stalking is, you need to check that shit out. But yeah, these pit bulls are trash, bro. And I'm done defending them. I'm just gonna let what happens happen. And I see why God's got them in this situation where they are. I mean, they denied Jesus back then. They turned him into the enemy, got him killed. He clearly said, "This is my people." They would have fought. They ain't his people. This is his kingdom. They would have fought. They didn't fight. It's the end. He said they do this in the green tree, all this sad shit. What's gonna happen in the dry, and this is as dry as it gets for these people, and I don't give a fuck anymore, to be honest. To hell with you goddamn pit bull motherfuckers, and God bless the elect of God, and anybody that's peaceful and not a bitch. Because I like peaceful people. I'll go around peaceful people. I don't go around these type of people that are aggressive acting anymore. I see them, I'm just done with them. And there's really just nothing to do with them, bro. Any race, doesn't matter what they are, they're acting like that, I'm done with them. If they're peaceful, I'll go around them. But also, I hate peaceful people that are pussies. That if something goes down, they don't do shit. Those type of people, you might as well be a violent person. I'd almost rather have a violent person as a friend than you. These violent person might have my back. Might. I notice that most people that are violent are pussies too. Like they only act out when they got numbers, or like hyenas, that kind of thing. You're gonna see a lot of this kind of connection with them and dogs. That's why a guy called these people dogs and talked about the Hebrews as a different species from all these other nations and shit. But like I said, it's all about your character. That's why Jesus said, "Do things in His name." That's His character. He's the high priest Messiah. So you have to basically take on His character. Most people are not able to do that, so they go to hell. It's just that simple. That's why it's called the mark of the beast. Some people have no self-control like an animal. But clearly, He funds them. Now you know why they're blowing up black businesses and why they're targeting black people so abundantly badly for no reason. Well, now you know the reason. It's because they're the chosen people of God. But also, this other reason. They're all related to that, Basically, like they want to keep control. They're getting all this endless money in Israel because people think they're Israelites, so on and so forth. But now you understand why this guy's connected to pit bulls, why you instinctually think of certain creatures like them, literally. And then why, for example, man, I don't even want to go there. It's kind of fucked up. But, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go there. Why Asia had a fucking animal museum depicting all these Africans looking like them. You know why? Because they've been fucking all the goddamn animals, bro. The main one they look like is the goddamn ape, bro. I mean, come on, bro. Literally, they picked the dude as a leader just because he looks more like that. Like, you pay attention to the leaders, they pick the ones that look more like an ape because they're literally trying to see what's different about them from everybody else, and it's just that their family, their ancestors shit. Look at the Ethiopians. They're pitch black to, like, African dark, like the knot to my skin tone, and lighter, and they don't look like that. They look kind of like it because you can see they've been mixing with it, but man, it's going to be bad when their genes get ruined. That's the last little frontier of good genes we got on the planet. You can look at them and tell. The rest of these people, do you really want to mix with that? Okay, you're going to take a step forward into hell, losing all your melanin with one, and the other one looking like an ape. Yeah, kiss my ass, motherfuckers.